Okay, so today we are jumping into a deep dive. We've got this pile of sources all about magnesium. It's everywhere, touted for everything from mood to fixing sleep problems.
Right. And we're really zeroing in on one specific product that caught our eye, the Toplux Magnesium Complex. They're calling it the Swiss Army knife of supplements. Big claim.
A Swiss Army knife, huh? It combines 8 different forms of magnesium, adding up to 1,000 milligrams total. Sounds impressive on the surface.
Definitely sounds impressive.
So our mission here is to really unpack this. Let's look at the formulation, cut through some of that marketing language and figure out if this complex is actually worth the money for you.
Let's do it.
All right, first thing that kind of jumps out from the sources, something that might justify the higher price, it's the ingredients they picked. It seems pretty intentional. They aren't just packing it with cheap magnesium oxide.
Exactly. That's a key point. It looks like a really thoughtful formulation. They've included magnesium glycinate, which, is pretty well known for calming effects, maybe helping with anxiety. Then there's citrate, often used for digestive support, malate, that one's more linked to muscle function, energy production, and even taurate, which is often discussed in relation to heart health. So the idea seems to be, look, if you're not quite sure what specific magnesium benefit you need, or maybe you need a few.
Like you want energy and better sleep.
Precisely.
Mm.
This blend sort of aims to cover multiple bases at once. That's a big part of its appeal, according to the research we looked at.
And, you can see why people are drawn to it. The user reviews are, well, pretty striking. We're talking 4.79 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, that's high.
Over 1,100 reviews. And you see these specific stories like one reviewer on Walmart saying it completely eliminated nighttime leg cramps. Apparently, these cramps had been wrecking their sleep for months.
Yeah, those anecdotes are powerful. Can't deny that.
Right.
But this brings us to a really critical point. Maybe the biggest marketing twist here.
Okay, what's that?
That 1,000 milligram number, it sounds huge, right?
Yeah, seems like a lot.
But that's the total weight of all 8 compounds combined. It includes the magnesium and whatever it's bound to, like the glycine or the citrate. It is not 1,000 milligrams of pure elemental magnesium that your body can actually use.
Ah, okay. So the amount you actually absorb is likely much lower. Does that mean the price isn't justified after all, even with those better ingredients?
Well, not necessarily. And this is where the type of magnesium really matters. They focused on what are called chelated forms, like the glycinate and taurate we mentioned.
Chelated. Right. That means it's bound to an amino acid.
Exactly. Or an organic acid. Think of that acid or amino acid like a little helper molecule. It basically escorts the magnesium through the digestive system, helping it get absorbed more easily into your bloodstream.
And it's gentler on the stomach, too, compared to, say, magnesium oxide, which can cause issues.
That's a big part of it, yeah. Much gentler for many people. So even though that 1,000 milligram total figure is a bit misleading, the binding agents make up a chunk of that weight. The focus on chelation means what is there gets used better by your body.
Okay, so that improved bioavailability, that's part of the value proposition then. It helps make sense of the cost.
Precisely. And relating it back to the elemental amount, while the label doesn't spell it out, the actual usable magnesium is probably, closer to a standard daily recommended amount, not some mega dose. The benefit is in how well it's delivered.
Got it. Okay, but here's something else we found, kind of contradictory data that really stood out. The side effects. Some people reported the usual stuff, mild gas, maybe some cramps.
Which can happen with magnesium, yeah.
But others reported something surprising, constipation, which is like the opposite of what magnesium usually does, right? Isn't it known for loosening things up?
That's the fascinating part. Yes, typically magnesium draws water into the bowel, acting as a laxative. Seeing constipation reported suggests a couple of things. Maybe individual reactions just vary a lot more than we think. Or maybe these highly absorbable chelated forms are getting taken up so efficiently, so early in the digestive tract, that there isn't much left further down in the colon to draw that water in. That could actually lead to constipation in some people. It's a key difference from, say, oxide.
Huh, that makes sense.
And it really underlines why the advice we saw in the sources is so important. Start with a half dose. Test your own tolerance before you jump to the full amount.
Right. Good advice for any supplement, really. So wrapping this up, what's the main takeaway for you, the listener? This Toplux supplement, it seems to offer decent value because the ingredients are thoughtfully chosen to target different things.
Yeah, the blend itself seems solid.
But, and this is crucial, you absolutely have to understand the difference between that big total weight number they put on the front and the actual elemental dose your body can use. That's key for evaluating any supplement, not just this one.
Absolutely. And that leaves us with a final thought for you to chew on. We see here how chelation is really important for magnesium's bioavailability and gut comfort. So the question is, when you're looking at other minerals or even vitamins, what are the equivalent factors? What forms or formats should you be looking for to make sure you're actually absorbing and benefiting from what you're taking? Something to think about.